Yo, welcome back to the Corner podcast where we talk about all things pool, pool community, pool culture, just hanging out, having a good time doing what we do. We're over here at JJ Dakota's, you know the building, 9112 Camp Bowie. We got it's a Monday night. We got two leagues going on. We got APA and also 259 ball. And if y'all could tell, I got a real special guest. He been trying to get to the pod for a minute, and I've been telling him he was gonna come on, and just for scheduling reasons, it didn't work out. But we here now.
I got a few minutes tonight.
He got a few minutes, so just wanna if you know him, if you familiar with the West Side, you know Big Rick.
What's up, y'all?
You know Big Rick. You know him down from the Horny Toad, but you know him from being one of the coldest shooters out.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
I look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, man, that's all part of it. I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
We all go through that.
But we're sitting here not pros, right?
I know, right? I couldn't imagine being I could imagine being a pro. And
It's a grind.
It is a grind, man. So, man, just you tell people about kind of your pool resume, I guess I would say.
Man, look, I started on the West Side probably 13, 14 years ago playing the two foul out of the Horny Toad. I was just a lowly old member, and then our captain got pregnant, decided she couldn't play anymore, so she gave me the team, and I kind of turned it into a powerhouse for a while. We're struggling a little bit. We're kind of finding our feet again, but we constantly in the money.
I got you. Hey, so tell everybody tell how many nights you played, what league, all of that good stuff.
So I played two foul on Mondays, and then APA out of the Horny Toad on Tuesday. That's all I play. I don't practice a whole lot anymore. I'm pretty much wifed up, so I don't get to play as much as I used to.
Man, congratulations. Rick finally put a ring on it. It's all good though, man.
Yeah, but man, I've been shooting around the West Side a long time. Come across a lot of probably some of the best players I've ever seen in my life come through the West Side, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, so who are some of the players or players around here that you would say like, I get geeked up for them?
Right.
I gotta ask you the same thing I asked Santos when he was like, we all got rivals and we all got people that we trying to conquer. We got those hills. So
man, we do. So man, I think the best player, he's not with us anymore though, come through the West Side was Dave Faber.
Okay.
Probably one of the man, you can't mention West Side Pool without talking Dave Faber.
Oh yeah.
And some of them old heads will know exactly who you're talking about. But he just like a lot of good pool players, came up on hard times and now he's not with us anymore. Hell, I had CJ Wiley come play one of my tournaments at the Toad one time. If y'all know who he is. I was 2 missed 8 balls away from beating him.
Wow. So that's cool. I didn't do. I'm in JJ, so we always Gary Sneed's name is always comes up. It's around here. But talk about pool at the Toad. I remember when I used to go there. When I still go there, but they used to have tournaments there. Like it was a lot of good shooters come around there and come through there.
Man, a lot of good shooters. Yeah, we we try to keep the tables good over there, keep the pool culture going. Like I said, Dave's played over there. You got to talk about Big Don Dolo. You got to talk about Walter.
Yep.
Gary Vanover used to come play there. I don't know what's happened with Gary, but his dad was Bob Vanover, a Texas 9-ball legend. The Texas State 9-ball Cup's named after him. It's a Vanover Cup.
Okay.
Chris Fields, probably one of the best female players I've ever had the pleasure of shooting against. Used to come through there. And Keith Akins, you can't talk about Westside Pool without talking about Keith.
Yeah, man, his name comes up quite a bit.
Man, that's Mr. APA.
He comes up quite a bit, and that's a whole nother subject for another day.
Oh man, dude, you can fill 2 hours with Keith.
Man, that's just dude. I'm like, how are you not professional?
Right.
He another one. He trying to get on the pod. I gotta get him in the corner, bro.
Oh, you gotta get Keith.
I gotta get Keith in the corner, man.
Gotta get him.
I mean, so Rick, you captain a Tuesday night team. I know because we play against you. We used to be on the team together.
We did.
We did, and the team split. It's all
Team
love.
split. It happens.
All love. So it's always a friendly. I feel like when we play y'all, it's Texas OU weekend.
Yeah, it's like a friendly rivalry, man. It's always a good time, man.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
We're always cutting up
Yeah.
and talking our smack to each other.
Man, and then it's like all the players so well because half of us were on the team,
Right.
but we see each other play, and so it's a good time. But when you're playing teams like that, and here on the West Side, we play a lot of the same teams, right?
Yeah.
How are you setting your lineup? Are you doing it prior to the night, or are you like in the moment?
Man, I always like with my Tuesday, with my Monday team, my lineup doesn't change. It is what it is. It stays the same week after week, but it's not interchangeable like APA is. It's more of a round robin format, so everybody's going to play. But with APA, I pretty much like for tomorrow. I pretty much already have a game plan for tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm always one day ahead.
Where are y'all at tomorrow?
We're Maxine, Texas Proud.
Okay, all right. That's a good time.
There's certain matchups on certain teams that I like. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't, and sometimes my game plan gets thrown out the window when they,
Oh yeah.
You never know who they're going to throw on you. They can throw off, they can throw up, they can do whatever they want. But I kind of have a game plan of who I want to play who.
You know what's crazy is because I have an actual my Thursday team I play on. They send the lineup up the early in that day, and we stick with that lineup. There's like this is who's going to play. Now the order isn't on there, but it's like this is who's playing what that night. And I'm like, sometimes I was like, there's no shifting or in the moment, something can happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like I don't know. So I don't know which one I like because my other teams it's just like who's ever shows up.
Well, I kind of feel like with APA, man, your lineup's got to be fluid. You got to because stuff's going to change. Stuff's going to change because you don't know who's going to who on the other team's going to play. So I mean, do you really want your two playing their Super 7? You really don't. I mean, sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But for the most part, I don't like to match up my lows on the super tough guys, but it's worked out.
Are you a fan of throwing off? And for people that don't, and explain when I said throwing off, what that means.
So throwing off. Say I put myself up blind. I'm a 5'5".
Yep.
I should really be a 6'6", but I'm a 5'5". It is what it is. I'm inconsistent. So I'm a 5, and say they throw a 2 on me.
Yep.
They're throwing off, and that's on 8-ball. That's a 4-2 race, and that's tough. That's a tough race for anybody. And I'm not a fan of doing that. I'll try not to do it unless it's just absolutely necessary. I like to keep it as even as possible.
Okay.
But hey, sometimes we put our 2 on Keith one time, and that 2 smoked him.
Oh man, you better keep listening because I know he listens.
I know he's listening. He remembers that Billy match.
Oh yeah. Did Billy ever get his patch?
Yeah.
He did. Oh yeah, Keith even signed it for him.
Right?
Keith signed it for him right there.
He wouldn't sign my patch.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
I'm
goodness!
calling you out,
man.
Keith. You wouldn't sign my patch.
Oh man, and this is why I started this, man, because we had these conversations just coming around, hanging out while we shoot, and we talk about these kind of things. And I felt like it would just be good things to share with people, man.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate you coming on here because again, I tell everybody this is for our pool community, like West Side. I might be venturing over to HEB. I don't know. I got some stuff cooking.
Man, there's some shooters over there.
Look, I just left that Aloha tournament.
I've played that tournament twice.
So I'm gonna go into it in detail.
Yeah, let's talk.
But I know you gotta go, so but I want you to tell your story about, or just your experience there.
Man, so the Hawaii tournament. so my first year ever in APA, like 4 years ago, when I was on TKO, I was on Keith's team. We qualified for that tournament, and I didn't know what I was getting into. It's a grind.
Yeah,
it's a grind. It's just like Worlds. It's a grind.
It is. Yeah.
And man, if you're not prepared, then you're not prepared. The first year I was in it, we didn't do too well. I think we won 1 match and lost 2, whatever it was. We were out pretty early. But then the first year I had my own team, we qualified for it, and we went all the way to the end of the sudden death. We were one game away from going to Hawaii,
Yeah,
and you had to throw a 4 or lower.
I've
And
heard this
hey,
story.
there ain't no timeouts, there ain't no coaching,
Nope.
there ain't none of that in the Hawaii tournament. It's just
I can attest to it. Yep.
and man, we just fell a little short. We just fell a little short. A little drama at the end of the match. You know, the other team almost got forfeited out. Almost lost their Hawaii trip for what to say, a little excessive celebration. That's what we're gonna say
Hey
about that.
man, hey, after being in it this weekend and being fortunate enough to have 2 teams in it, you know, having 2 teams, I still came up short. So you know.
It's tough, man. It's the best teams in the DFW area.
But
Tarrant County.
Tarrant County, it was like I kind of like the format. Now it did raise up some stuff for me because I'm like, we played all these matches and got done in this limited amount of time. But on APA, like tonight, man, some of these teams will be here till 11:30, almost midnight.
Yep.
I'm like, we got to pick up the pace of play. Man. I get it.
Yeah, the pace of play is in some league nights is ridiculous. It's stupid.
If you don't play APA or a league, then you understand. Because 2 foul, you do 2 foul, right?
I do 2 foul.
That is crazy fast.
Well, I mean, it's 1 rack.
We literally start after APA and then finish before then.
We start at 7:30. We're normally done 10:30.
Yeah, man,
but it's only 1 rack. I mean,
yeah.
and somebody snaps a 9, that rack's over. Somebody slops in a 9, that rack's over. You know, and that's why a lot of people hate that 2 foul because
I'm wondering.
It's a different animal.
It is. I'm trying to still figure out if I like it or not.
Here's the thing, and this is what I tell all new players about the 2 foul. There's an art to 2 foul 9 ball. You know, you roll out. You don't have to fire at anything stupid.
Yeah.
And once you learn the art of 2 foul, it's fun until you lose to somebody that should be a 1 in APA, and you're like, how did that happen? But anybody can win 1 rack.
Would you say 2 foul is more strategic? I mean, playing pool is strategic, and that's kind of why I started playing because I play a lot of chess, and it reminded me of chess.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And so, but 2 foul, it seems like you forget to be strategic.
Sometimes, man, you know, look, it's hard because it's not. I'm not going to say it's not a competitive league because it is, because there's some really good shooters that play in the 2 foul league.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of people that just go in there and blow up racks, and wow. So it's hard. It's hard when you're playing someone on a lower skill level because even if you miss, you're still trying to plan your next run out. And it's hard to do when you have somebody that just goes out there and sprays everything and just moves all the balls. And there's not a lot of defense played in that 2 foul.
Hey,
I play quite a bit.
We played the team. I don't know what, and I'm still trying to learn it. But we played the team out of Charlie Brown's last week, and they were some shooters. It wasn't no slot being made. They like I had dude broken ran on me.
Yeah, no. There's some teams like we're in 2 different 2 foul leagues. I know that. But there's some teams out there. You know, like my team's full of shooters.
Yeah.
You know, and you know I've got like even Jen. Like Jen's come a long way in her game. And, like, she's just not up there firing at stupid stuff anymore. You know, she's up there and she's a little more strategic. But I just feel like if I could teach a lot of these 2 foul players, you know, to play defense. Man, I'm a defensive king. Go look at my stats in APA. I'm at like 11 defenses a match in A-ball.
Let me pull him
up.
It's
ridiculous.
We're going to pull up Rick's stats when he gone. And I'm going to make sure you tell him.
You got to check Tarrant County and West Forward because they're different.
Man. Dog, this whole – okay, because like I said, I only had you but for a little bit of time.
Yeah, you got me for about 10 more minutes.
Yeah. How do you feel about this split right now?
You know, I don't – so look, I like Naomi, you know, the Tarrant County, you know. She and I have always gotten along. But also on the flip side of that, you know, seeing Robert, how he's come out, and, you know, he's showing up at all the venues every week, and he's coming out and he's talking to the players, and he's real receptive to listen. And I think Tarrant County is such a big area that I think it was probably good to split it.
Yeah.
And just from in the short sample size I've seen of Robert, I think he's going to do a hell of a job for us.
Oh yeah. I mean, I see a lot of growth opportunities over here. But what I'm thinking about, like being at that Aloha tournament when it's always West Fort Worth and HEB together,
Mm-hmm.
I see like it's like the teams have a different personality. So it's like one side of the county is one way. Not saying it's bad or wrong. You could just I feel like you could tell it.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like,
it's one of those hard things. It's hard to explain, but you got to be there and you got to see it.
Like I enjoyed, I enjoyed seeing some people that I don't always see.
Right.
Couple of teams. I met some new teams this time, and I met a team out of Waterhole, which is still West Fort Worth, but still it was a different team.
Right.
Super cool, man. I told them I was just gonna come hang out on a Sunday, but they were so nice, man. But I see too some of the hiccups in splitting the league not in the middle of the season.
What was it, week 3, something like that?
Yeah. Like our stats are kind of.
Yeah, we still don't have all our.
I mean, we knew they were going to be that way, but then in these tournaments, like I saw a lot of things come up where you're ranked one thing in Tarrant County, but you're ranked something else in West Fort Worth.
Right.
And that can be kind of tricky. So hopefully they go to where they're like, all right, we need to explain this a little bit. And we give it a session in the process.
Yeah, I mean, they got some bugs they're going to have to work out.
Yeah,
but I mean, for on the whole, I feel like it's kind of been a seamless transition.
Yeah, it hadn't changed anything for us other than
I still just show up every Tuesday and have a good time and shoot pool. And
I mean, yeah, that's what we do. Like that's the fun part of playing pool. And like I said, now playing 2 foul 9 ball, it's kind of the same. I was used to APA, that's what introduced me, and so it's all good. But hey, real quick, because I know you're a captain and I've been around you, and you like to, when you're coaching, say, a new player, like kind of how do you do that? Like, are you one of those that after every shot they say you got something to say, or you kind of like, hey, pull them to the side a little bit later?
Well, so with new players, so basically if I see them do something dumb, I'm going to kind of catch them after that shot, and I'm not going to get on them, but I'm going to be like, hey, this is how you should have played that shot.
Yeah.
And we could talk about it later, but I just wanted to keep it fresh in your mind before I forget. And then as far as like with timeouts, I try to give my players the leeway to call their own timeouts. I try because I kind of want to see where their head's at.
Okay.
But I also, and what we preach to our lower players is, hey, don't wait till you're screwed before you call a timeout and ask for help.
Right.
I need, we try to teach them to see problems ahead. Like you said, playing chess. I play chess too. I haven't played in a long time, but I play chess too. And so if you ever watch me walk up to a table and you see me kind of doing this number, it's because I'm planning my run out. Now, I may not run out, but I've always got that run out in my head. I always have that pattern in my head, and I'm always thinking 2 or 3 shots ahead. Like, well, if I get out of shape here, I can do this, or I can do this, or I can do this. And that's what I try to teach my lower players.
That's been my challenge, and I feel like I'm improving on that. But also when we talk in talking about timeouts, how about your higher skill levels, those that are equal to you, like, because they don't always want a timeout.
They don't. Hey, let me tell you something, Vaughn gonna call a timeout on me whether I want him to or not.
Shout out 6 guys.
Shout out 6 guys. Hey, Vaughn's the timeout king.
Yeah.
He's the 6th guy, but he's the timeout king.
He do give.
Because he and I, we play 2 different games.
Yeah.
And we both, he's a 6'6", I'm a 5'5". I still think we play pretty even.
Yeah.
But he sees stuff that I don't see sometimes, and if he sees something, I mean, I don't have an issue with him calling a timeout and coming and coaching me up, and then the other guys, they'll call timeouts. They just, they say they just want a second set of eyes on something, just to kind of confirm what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we do it on our team.
I've just seen sometimes where a timeout is called, and it's probably a necessary timeout, and they're like, why? Why you call a timeout on me? Don't do that. And then they're like, then they miss a shot or something. They're like, see, if you hadn't called that timeout, you probably was going to take a bad shot.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I ain't gonna name no names. You know who you are, though.
Well, we fire shots over here.
Shots. It's all love, though. It's all love, though.
We fire them over here, bro.
But no, I mean, there's some players that just don't like timeouts. They're just like, let me cook.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you can't let them.
I get it, but sometimes you need, when something on the line. I think when in a session, and I'm looking at the time for you, but in a session, when do you think like toward the end of the session, like depending on how close you are, on timeouts matter because now you playing for seeding, you playing for a playoff position, all that good stuff. If you close to the and you in the top three, you need all the wins you can get.
Oh, absolutely.
All the points you can get.
Absolutely, every one of them.
So I'm like this. Hey, at the beginning of the season, like, look, we're trying to win, and if you're not down with that, you might want to go play somewhere in solo tournament.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna put you on the spot though. Is Horny Toad ever gonna bring back tournaments?
Probably not. Probably not.
Man.
And if you want to get into it, I mean, we could talk about it real quick.
Y'all used to be a staple in the tournament scene.
It just wasn't a good business plan.
Okay.
It just the money we were paying out was about double what we were bringing in, and I get it. A lot of pool players don't drink.
Yeah.
But
you're still running a business.
You're still running a business. I mean, look, even if I don't drink at a bar and there's something like I'll be going to play in the league and I drank a little too much last night, so I ain't going to drink tonight.
Well, you had your engagement party.
Right.
That's different.
And, but I'll still support the bar. I'll still, I'll throw some money in the tip, in the bartender's tip jar. That's how we make our money.
I mean,
and it just wasn't happening. And
it's like a recurring theme. My last episode, please tip.
Yeah.
Right. We get a bad rap, man, as pool players at some of these places. We don't want to deal with it.
Hey, I'm a pool player, and I got love for all y'all pools out there. Oh, but we also trying to pay bills too, So I just don't think the tournaments are coming back.
Man.
And it is what it is. I mean, I try to keep them as long as I could.
Yeah.
But when it became not a financially responsible decision anymore, we just brought in other stuff.
Yeah.
So
I will say, man, Nicole who runs the Horny Toad, man, big love to the Horny Toad. Like I said, it's all about the West Side. So, the big love to her, man. She's always got something going.
Always got something cooking, man.
I'm just over there with a luau Saturday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
A whole pig, yo.
That
was crazy,
man.
It was
crazy. I still feel like I had the best Hawaiian shirt in the building.
You probably did. I forgot that the thing was even happening. So, man, luckily I rolled up on it, just checking in and tapping in with the West Side. But Rick, so you got any final not shout outs, but just about pool, just in your how would you describe pool over here on this side of town, man?
I think pool on the West Side is a different animal.
Do you?
But here's the thing, though. I don't really play pool anywhere else except for on the West Side. Of course, we go to Tumbleweeds. I don't consider that the West Side.
Okay.
Man, I just feel like we have some of the best shooters in Fort Worth here.
Yeah,
I really do.
All right.
You got some of the best bars in Fort Worth here. I think I'm a dive bar guy. Shout out dive bars, dive bar guy.
Well, you don't like the classy establishments, man. You don't want to go spend $850.
No, it really on the cool. I'm not even a pool hall. I'm not a lover of pool halls. I'm really not.
Okay.
I don't feel like I like the vibe at them. Now, side note to that, I know we sent to JJ's, which is a pool hall.
Yeah, but
I've kind of become fond of this place.
It's not a.
It's not.
It is.
It's a pool hall.
It is a pool hall.
But I know Bill, the owner, and Joseph.
Yeah.
I know the entire staff up here pretty well.
Oh yeah, cools down. Man.
You work at the Horny Toad for 9 years. You're gonna learn. You're gonna meet everybody.
And y'all are only 2 minutes away from each other.
Like
2 or 3. Yeah, quarter mile up the road. Yeah.
So I've grown kind of fond of the joint.
Yeah. I would like to see more. I guess since y'all not bringing tournaments in there, I think JJ is going to have to
step it up
and start bringing. And I know that the APA operator is going to bring more tournaments in there, but I would like to just see more tournaments just on a whim, man. Especially on Saturdays. They don't have a whole lot going on, but
it's hard to do tournaments on Saturdays, though. That's when bars are doing most of their business.
Yeah, they're not trying to. Yeah, but anyway. But anyway, man, shout out to you, Rick. Appreciate you
Thanks for having me
coming on here, bro. It's 6:58.
Yeah, I got to get out here and go.
Yeah,
Go
man.
try to win
Go
it.
shoot well,
Go win
bro.
her 6 in a row.
Go get it, man. Go
All right,
get it,
man.
all right, man.
Hey, I'm gonna jump back on here in a few weeks. We'll talk about something.
Yo, give it up for Rick.
Hey, thanks for having me. See y'all.
Appreciate it, homeboy, man. Homeboy, so that was Rick, man. Like he was saying, he's down at the
Hey, good luck tonight.
Hornet Talk. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, everybody shoot well tonight, man. So we touched on it a little bit, and I'm gonna get into it. We had the Aloha tournament this past weekend on Saturday and Sunday, the Waterhole, and that is the destination leagues. The APA teams that play on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Somebody fact check me. You can email me at askthecorner@gmail.com, and you can correct me. But anyway, so different animal, man. But I want to say thank you to Waterhole for hosting it. Uh, they did a really good job. Uh, they just they were so supportive. Thank you to the staff for creating space. I mean, when you have a big tournament like that in a place with those many teams, you kind of have to you go without your regulars. I would think your regulars that are normally in there, they don't normally on it. So, but they did a really good job uh, of just hosting us, creating space, and so. But it was it was a packed house. I had the pleasure of having two teams in it, and so I was there Saturday and Sunday. Uh, Never played in this Aloha tournament. Different format. It was a round robin format. You play one game of 8 ball, and you had to finish 5 games in an hour. And I'm telling you, you got no timeouts, you got no coaching, you got none of that. And so it was fun. I was saying I actually like it. I enjoyed I enjoyed the whole I enjoyed it just taking place because it was fast paced. I mean, you didn't have time to study like too long and too hard, and that's one thing I don't like about playing pool with some people. They take too long. I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole, but it happens. Uh, but tournament was good, man. I wish I had the results right now. I didn't. I know that on Sunday I had a few teams that I knew, especially from the West Side, West Fort Worth APA, that were in that finals. And I mean, the grand prize was, I guess, it's like 14K to split between your team for the trip to Hawaii. And then they paid out the second, third, and fourth place team. So, man, congratulations to everybody that got a check, man. That got some. Like, I would I would have loved to be in there, but it was a fun time. Man, there was some there was some excitement that took place, but hey, that's just what's gonna happen when you competing and when you have money on the line. Like, I don't know, you got money on the line. All right, I'm making sure all my ducks are in a row, and so we had a couple of things, and I said I wasn't gonna be messy again, so I'm trying to really contain myself. But I'm gonna tell y'all so, pool players, us pool players, we got to do better, man. We gotta learn to control our emotions. We gotta be like, we gotta keep it, we gotta keep it thorough and keep it being an adult, and we just we gotta chill out, man. We really do. We gotta hold on, be respectful to each other, and not take the game too serious. Can't do that. Yeah. So this Aloha tournament, man. This weekend, it was super fun. Like I said, getting to see the teams from our side of our league, and then going to the HEB teams, man, that was good. So congratulations to everybody that was able to make it there. Because I mean, you have to get first place in your league, and I feel like it's 2 sessions that we did. I don't remember, but definitely interesting. Definitely had a lot of excitement. Few fireworks, but I will tell you the thing that I'm learning more about playing in these tournaments like this is don't be afraid to ask for a watcher. If you need a shot watch, like I'm thinking about a match I played and my opponent asked for a watcher on my shot, and I was like, well, this is kind of an obvious thing, but and so I just said, no problem. Sooner later in our match, she had a she I might be calling out people, but she had her 7 ball touching the 8 ball. Basically, they were so close, and she was shooting at the 7. And I asked to get a watch because I'm like, I need to. And she acted as if I had, stolen or taken her unborn child or stole a puppy from her the way she came at me. She just gave me a little bit of an attitude, but it's all good. It is all good. So we, just I'm very mindful of that now as I'm playing in these tournaments and on regular league nights too, man. Ask for a watch. There's nothing wrong with it. Man. People gotta stop being sensitive. I've seen it where people get an attitude when they want to watch, but then I know that there are some teams that do that just to, they do that to kind of try to be a little sneaky, little underhanded. But it can be used as a strategy. It could throw a shooter off if they getting down and they're like all of a sudden like, hey, I need to watch. Uh, but don't be afraid to ask for a watch. But again, we had a good time. I got my man's everybody over here tapping in. You never know who gonna stop in at the corner. These guys right here, these guys right here. It was probably some big money being. Come on down the J. No, don't come down here. You better get your wallets good. All right, man. See y'all. Yo, you better make sure you got some paper with them brothers. All right, have fun. Like I said, you never know what's going to happen at the corner. Uh, just love the night. Tonight we got APA in the front and the corner back there. Well, the back corner of JJ's, they got 259 ball happening. So very different styles of play that is going on. Uh, and so we just, if you ever get interested, man, come on. 9112 Camp Bowie West Boulevard. And this is where we are. Uh, Man, I had one more not major topic, but I'm trying to get my head around this. I haven't been playing pool long at all, to be honest. Again, that's why I'm not on here talking about giving you pool instruction or insight. I try to have other people that are more seasoned than I am. But if there's a rule that I'm like, why am I not too familiar with it? But it's just the illegal touch. Like I know, anytime you make contact with the cue ball, I had a scenario this weekend where one of my opponents was getting a bridge out, and I watched them put the bridge down. I watched them touch the cue ball and push the cue ball over. Not a lot, but just enough to where they nudged it. And I wanted to say that's a foul, but I wasn't sure because it wasn't the actual cue. But upon further discussion and investigation, messed up. Luckily, I still won that match, so I'm good. But that's something, man. I just familiarize yourself with the rules, whatever league, tournament, whatever. Just make sure you know the rules, man. If you slip up and take a L, and you like, dang it, I should have said something. But that was the one thing that happened to me. Man. But again, thank y'all for just the support, man. I got a lot of people. It's like telling me that like what we're doing, giving a platform. I want this to be about all of the people that play and that come hang out here, man. Even if you don't play pool, you just come and hang out. You can come and step in and tap in with us and tap in with us. We enjoy that, man. Shout outs to, I'm not shouting out no more, but thank you to JJ Dakotas for giving me this space. Man, I'm going to try to record these every Monday night. and release them on Thursday, so you can catch them. You can catch them on Spotify, the Corner Podcast, DACORNER Podcast. And you can also go to my YouTube channel. They'll be there. It's the Corner Podcast dash 1914. And my channel should pop up right there. So, man, I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate Rick for coming through. Man, it's been a good time. Okay. Till next time.